All right, we need to talk about a major story that slipped right past most of the mainstream media. As 4th of July fireworks were lighting up the sky, one of the largest defense spending packages in more than a decade quietly became law. Every so often, Congress passes something that gets reduced to a 30-second mention on the evening news. But if you actually train, spend time on the range, and buy ammunition by the case, this is not just another political headline. This is a serious game changer. While everyone was arguing over the loudest talking points, something huge was buried deep inside the fine print. Billions of dollars flowing directly into America's core ammunition manufacturing base. That one piece of the bill may affect your local gun shop and your online ammo cart more than anything else in the package. It could reshape the reality for every American shooter. Before we talk about the fix, we need to rewind to the disaster of 2020. You remember it. A 1,000-round case of 5.56 that used to be a normal $400 purchase suddenly blew past $1,000, and that was only if you could even find it. It was not just 5.56. Shelves were wiped clean of 9mm 45 ACP 308 300 blackout and plenty of niche calibers too. That shortage was painful, but more importantly, it exposed how fragile our ammunition supply chain really was. The worst part was not just price gouging. The real crisis was that millions of new gun owners had no practical way to buy enough ammunition to train and become competent defenders. People were sitting at home with brand new self-defense rifles and maybe 20 rounds in the box. That entire mess became a national warning shot. It proved that any serious crisis, whether a public health emergency, political chaos, or a massive wave of new gun owners, could bring the ammunition supply to a grinding halt almost overnight. Here is the part a lot of people miss. This relationship is not new. Military ammunition production and civilian ammunition demand have been tied together for decades. After the Vietnam War, when military operations scaled way down, those massive ammunition plants faced a hard choice. Either pivot into supplying the civilian market or let the machines sit idle while thousands of highly skilled workers lost their jobs. That matters because shutting down a major ammo plant and then trying to restart it later is a national security nightmare. It can take years to rehire workers, retrain specialized crews, recalibrate complex machinery, and get production running smoothly again. Civilian sales became the lifeline. Demand from competition shooters, hunters, and everyday citizens kept those factories moving. It kept the machines tuned and the workforce sharp, so when the military needed to surge production, the system could respond. This current bill is not a brand new idea. It is a long overdue infrastructure investment in a system private gun owners have helped support all along. In many ways, it is the direct financial answer to the 2020 ammunition collapse. This funding package is built to break the feast or famine cycle that has punished shooters for years. The first major pillar is a $100 million surge for core calibers, specifically 5.56 NATO and 7.62 NATO. These are the backbone cartridges of the AR-15 and AR-10 platforms, two of the most popular rifle families in the country. Because major facilities like the Lake City Army Ammunition Plant often send nearly half of their small arms output into the civilian market. Boosting production there can directly mean more affordable ammo on store shelves. The second pillar is the big one, a $1 billion push for next-generation production facilities. This is not just adding a few older machines to a warehouse. This is moving from a traditional factory model towards something closer to a modern Tesla gigafactory. That means automated optical inspection systems scanning every round for tiny defects, cutting down on duds and making range times safer and more consistent. It also means more efficient case annealing processes, creating more uniform neck tension and tighter groups downrange. These upgrades do not just increase military supply. They create an inevitable surplus of better, more consistent ammunition for civilian shooters too. The third pillar may be the most important, $2 billion for raw materials and onshoring. We are talking about primers, brass, and powder, the holy trinity of cartridge manufacturing. The 2020 shortage was really a component shortage, especially a primer shortage. We learned the hard way that too much of our primer supply depended on foreign sources, including unreliable places like Russia. When that overseas pipeline broke, domestic factories could not just magically make up the difference. This $2 billion investment is aimed at building a self-sustaining national ammunition pantry right here in the United States. It is a strategic move to bring critical component production back home so American shooters and the military are not held hostage by foreign supply chains. The fourth pillar is $10 million for specialized workforce development. Compared with the billion-dollar figures, that sounds small, but it matters. You cannot run advanced ammunition factories with untrained labor. This money is meant to train the next generation of ballisticians, metallurgists, tooling specialists, and precision manufacturing workers who can keep these advanced systems running at tight tolerances. Without those skilled hands, all the new equipment is just expensive scrap metal. So what does all of this mean when you walk into a gun shop or load up your online cart? It means we may finally start breaking the cycle. This investment is designed to smooth out the insane peaks and valleys that turn ammunition buying into a panic. Your local shop should not have to beg a distributor for one case of green tip. You should not feel like you need a second mortgage just to keep magazines loaded. The biggest benefit is stability. When shooters believe ammunition will still be available next week, and the week after that, at a fair and predictable price, they stop panic buying. Hoarding slows down. Shelves stay stocked. The entire civilian market becomes healthier. That stability is what opens the door to what really matters. You can finally afford that 500-round carbine class you have been putting off. You can take the family to the range without feeling like you just burned through $100 in an hour. You can actually zero a new hunting rifle properly instead of firing 3 rounds and saying, "Close enough." More availability means more trigger time. More trigger time means more skill. And more skill makes the entire shooting community safer, sharper, and better prepared. When you step back and look at the full picture, this bill is a major win. More production equipment, more domestic raw materials, and more skilled workers all point in the same direction. More ammunition on shelves and less fear of brutal price spikes. The fact that this was signed right before Independence Day does not feel accidental. For millions of Americans, ammunition is more than brass, powder, primers, and lead. It represents freedom, responsibility, and the ability to stay prepared. It is the freedom to train, protect your family, and keep your skills sharp without constantly rationing expensive supplies or wondering when the next shortage will hit. When nearly half the ammunition from government-affiliated plants can end up in civilian hands, this is not only about filling military stockpiles. It is also about keeping American shooting culture alive and making sure marksmanship skills continue to be passed down to the next generation. On paper, it may look like just another line item in a defense budget. For shooters, it is a long-awaited investment in stability and real security. It benefits the military, strengthens the civilian market, and helps every responsible gun owner who believes in staying ready. Stay sharp.